A quick earthquake update here real quick, as we have seen an uptick in the magnitude in the quakes that are hitting Tennessee, and it looks like the swarming is continuing up here in Alaska. This is over on the global incident map. Now, we had a pretty good quake that struck up here, or a series of quakes that struck around Anchorage that did a pretty good deal of damage with breaking windows and shaking buildings and knocking things loose all over the place. But this is still swarming, and I've noticed that since this has popped off, the odd quakes that we had up here in the northern area have gone away totally. It was a very weird swarm that popped up here, totally gone after the big quake hit down here. And before that, we had witnessed a line of quakes go all the way out through here. This whole thing was dotted with earthquakes. It's since gone quiet. We've also witnessed quake strike right here in this region, which I'll show more here on the USGS in just a second. This is an area I'm always watching. You can see we have some quake activity in Utah and just west of Yellowstone in Montana. Now, the quakes that are shown here, they're showing a 1.79 and a 2.1. Only other quakes that I see here on the map is this one down here, 6.3 on this ridge line. I'll watch these ridge lines to see if any other quakes pop up in areas like Chile, South Sandwich Islands, things like that, or if it shifts this way toward New Zealand, Vanuatu, Fiji. We'll just have to see what happens with that. But when we go over here to the USGS map, they're showing much greater magnitudes on these Tennessee earthquakes. And this is interesting because this is an area I always pay attention to, because I'm watching the New Madrid and any of the faults or places around it that have activity. And what that activity is doing is it's staying around the 1 range like they were just showing on the other map, or are they jumping up here to 3.3, 4.4 earthquakes? So you're jumping up there, very shallow quakes, rising in magnitude more and more. It just seems to be an area where they keep hitting along the Appalachians here, along this mountain range. Smoky Mountains and all that run right through here. So we have something that is causing these quakes to rise in magnitude, and it seems to be centered around eastern Tennessee at this point in terms of this swarm. Something we'll keep an eye on, because we're not used to seeing a lot of quake activity on the East Coast. This is actually the farthest east in terms of the United States that we have any activity right now, and ongoing activity at that. So I'll keep an eye on it. I'll continue to update if things change, and I'll leave links below. This has been Dabu7 with an earthquake update. Peace.